They know who I am, and they know when they feel that fear coming. That's why I told him the first time, you're gonna feel that fear. And he felt that. He knows that Ryan's coming.
Whatever version shows up, if it's any less, that's gonna be for him to answer.
Garcia expects Barrios to stay resilient into the middle rounds, but says he sees the fight reaching around the 8th, when he believes he can finish the job.
9 days out from fight night, high stakes, the Ring magazine. Give us a prediction. What's gonna happen?
A prediction, man. 8, 9, 10.
8, all right.
8, 9, 10.
I think that sounds. I'm going round 8.
I like that. 8, 9, 10.
I think round 8 is
That feels good.
Feels good, yeah.
Yeah, it feels good for a real fight. We're gonna get to it. And Barrios is one of those guys. He'll get cracked and he'll keep trying to fight. So.
Barrios says a dominant win over Garcia would be a career-defining boost, opening the door to bigger fights and cementing his status in the welterweight picture.
I think I could definitely say that, like I said, a win, especially one that's very, I go there and make a statement, victory. Like I said, it just continues to line up, those big fights, those unification fights, just those fights. Even if they don't have, a title, it's, I'm still out there, gonna face, the biggest names that they put in front of me.
Barrios says he plans to use his size and experience to make Garcia uncomfortable, applying pressure in every phase and proving that being a true 147-pounder gives him the edge.
What do you think is the key to fighting a puncher like that?
Just using my skills, my abilities. I know he's trying to like downplay, the like size difference with this, but I think it's gonna be something he's definitely gonna feel, in the fight. And I want to go in there. I want to make him uncomfortable. I want to test how bad he really wants to be in there with me.
Asked about his apparent indifference to pre-fight theatrics, Mario Barrios doesn't flinch. He says the date on the contract is all the motivation he needs, no back and forth required. At the press conference, he acknowledged Ryan Garcia's high-energy persona, but admitted he can't relate to it. Barrios prefers quiet work, steady preparation, and letting his performance speak when the lights come on and he steps into the ring.
I just don't care for it. Like for me, the fight day is already set. That's the only motivation I need. I don't need, some back and forth at a press conference. I don't need, all these like antics and all this, other stuff that had already happened at the first press conference. So, yeah, I think that's just Ryan. He's not an influencer boxer, but he definitely has that persona. And yeah, that's just him. But I can't relate. Right. I do my work. I just stay quiet, and yeah, and then come fight night, I show up.
Trainer Robert Garcia confirms Mario Barrios has brought in Joe Goosen, the same coach who once trained Ryan Garcia and knows him inside out. Garcia says that inside knowledge could be the game changer Barrios needs. He also admits Ryan's speed and power are real threats. If Garcia lands clean, he can hurt Barrios, stop him, and walk out with the title. But there's a flip side. If Barrios fights smart, manages his pace, and uses what Goosen knows to drag Ryan into deep water, the late rounds could tell a very different story. Either way, it's layered, and execution will decide it.
Yes, Barrios working with Goosen, and that could favor Barrios a lot because Goosen knows Ryan. So it's interesting. If Ryan lands, he's so fast and so strong that if he lands, he's going to hurt him and finish him and become champion and all the love for him and credit for him. But if he doesn't and if Barrios fights smart, Goosen knows, takes it to the later rounds, Ryan might be in trouble. It's going to be an interesting fight. Interesting.
Ahead of the matchup, Antonio Tarver called it the perfect opportunity for Ryan Garcia. He believes Garcia has a real chance to win and capture a legitimate world title for the first time in his career. When Tarver looks at the other champions at 147 pounds, he frames Mario Barrios as the most favorable setup for that breakthrough. Barrios, he says, is solid and good, but his power isn't devastating, and nothing about his overall game stands out as truly great. In Tarver's view, Barrios isn't the division's best champion, which makes this the ideal moment for Garcia to seize the belt.
Hey, you know what? I think it's a perfect fight for Ryan. I think when you look at the guys that hold the championships, you can look. I believe he has a chance to win this, bro, and become a world champion for the first time in his career. I think it's the perfect opponent when you look at all the other champions.
Tarver adds that Garcia holds real advantages: youth, speed, and power, so long as he stays disciplined and follows the game plan. But he warns Barrios won't be easy, pointing to Barrios' fight with Manny Pacquiao as proof he can adjust and improve even in defeat. Tarver believes that performance showed Barrios evolving into a stronger, smarter champion. If Barrios shows up at his best, Tarver says, he becomes a hard man for Garcia to beat. And he notes Garcia isn't coming off his sharpest outing either, which is why Barrios needs to start fast and send a message early. This belt won't be taken lightly.
Ryan Garcia has the advantages in this fight. He's younger, he has the power, he has the speed. He just has to execute. But Barrios ain't gonna lay down. That's why, but when he had that draw with Pacquiao, that showed me, man, that he could still get back to the drawing board and become a better fighter. I think it was any time for him to show some separation, it was against Manny Pacquiao. But we'll see. Maybe the champion come ready to fight and put on his very best performance. And I think he'll need that to beat Ryan Garcia. Now, again, Ryan is not coming in off the best win or the best performance himself. So it'll be important for Mario Barrios to start early and let Ryan Garcia know that it's gonna be a nightmare if he thinks he's gonna take his title.
Showbiz looks at the matchup through both men's tendencies and says there are questions on each side. He points to Barrios' showing against Manny Pacquiao, where he struggled with speed and looked hesitant at times. But he also notes Garcia's hesitation against Rolando Romero, especially when there wasn't much for Ryan to counter. In Showbiz's view, Barrios is more of a steady, pressure-based fighter than a patient one, and that forward style could create windows for Garcia to land counters throughout the fight, if Ryan stays sharp and composed.
Mario Barrios, when you look at him and you look at him against a Manny Pacquiao, who's not as fast as he once was, and he was countering Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios' block, you can punch through it. You saw what Abel did, dropping Mario Barrios, just punching through his block. And Mario Barrios against Pacquiao, he seemed to be a little reluctant to me. And it seems as though he was reluctant because of Manny Pacquiao's speed. But if you're going to be a little because of speed, Ryan Garcia may be the fastest puncher in the world. Now with Ryan Garcia, he was himself against Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero wasn't giving Ryan Garcia much to counter. He was very patient and he's a hard hitter. Mario Barrios isn't really a patient fighter. He's just a consistent paced fighter, right? Textbook, bam, bam, boom, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? And I think those are going to give Ryan Garcia many opportunities to counter. And here's my prediction. I think Ryan Garcia knocks out Mario Barrios.
Connor Ben doesn't entertain doubts about his prediction. He says Mario Barrios stops Ryan Garcia, period. Ben insists he's completely serious, doubling down that Barrios will finish the job and that Garcia will ultimately fumble the opportunity. He says he's putting his money behind Barrios, speaking with absolute confidence that the champion comes out on top.
You lot think I'm joking? I bet any money Barrios stops Garcia. I bet you any money. I'm not even joking. Barrios stops Garcia. He's going to fumble the bag, so I need to make my money back on him. Yeah. Barrios, any money stops Garcia. I am 100% confident. Taking bets.
Barrios says his focus is locked on one thing: preparing for the best version of Ryan Garcia on fight night. He's tuning out distractions and building his strategy around Garcia's best performances. If Ryan doesn't show up at peak form, Barrios says that's Ryan's problem, not his. He's training for a hard fight and refuses to count on Garcia having an off night.
I just had to prepare as if, I have a focused Ryan in front of me, as they're saying. And yeah, everything else kind of just is just background noise, Wait to look at Ryan's, at his best performances, when he has looked extraordinary, and just kind of just like picture and then just imagine, that's who we're gonna be facing. You know, the best version of Ryan, and whatever version shows up, if it's any less, that's gonna be for him to answer.
Big boxing update coming soon. Subscribe and turn on notifications.